Some moments are so disturbing they stay with you long after the footage ends. Real events, strange recordings, and chilling incidents caught on camera. Let's begin. Number 1. The Bridge Push. In the summer of 2018, 16-year-old Jordan Holgerson stood on a 60-foot bridge at Moulton Falls in Washington State, while friends encouraged her to jump.
3,
No, I won't go on.
2,
Well, she's saying no.
No, I just...
Ready? Oh, that's so...
During a countdown, she can be heard saying she doesn't want to go. Without warning, her friend Taylor Smith shoved her from behind. Jordan fell face first, completely unbalanced, striking the water at high speed. She suffered 6 broken ribs, punctured both lungs, and severe internal bruising. Taylor later pleaded guilty to reckless endangerment and was sentenced to 2 days in jail and 38 days of community service. Number 2. Charles Manson. A short interview clip shows Charles Manson being asked a simple question: who he really is. Instead of answering immediately, his initial reaction is strange. He doesn't respond verbally at first. He stares, shifts his eyes, and makes exaggerated facial expressions. When he finally answers, his tone is calm and controlled. There is no anger, no panic, and no visible remorse.
Nobody. I'm nobody. I'm a tramp, a bum, a hobo. I'm a boxcar and a jug of wine. And a straight razor if you get too close to me.
This shows how creepy this man really was. Number 3. The Wendy's Shootout. On August 26, 2014, the television show Cops was filming with the Omaha Police Department when officers responded to a robbery at a Wendy's restaurant in Omaha, Nebraska. Inside was 32-year-old Cortez Washington, who appeared to be armed. When officers entered, gunfire erupted. During the exchange, sound technician Bryce Dion, 38, was struck by police gunfire while holding his boom microphone. He later died from his injuries. Washington also died at the scene. Investigators later confirmed the suspect's weapon was an airsoft pistol designed to resemble a real handgun. Number 4. The Mansion Figure. In 2001, a group of teenagers filmed themselves exploring the abandoned Barton Mansion in Redlands, California. While walking upstairs, their camera captured what appeared to be a tall, dark figure standing at the end of a hallway, holding an object resembling a lantern.
Cover my bag, all right? What the hell's that? That on the floor. Right there.
The figure appeared unusually tall, bending slightly beneath a doorway. The teens fled the building. The footage circulated online before YouTube existed, and the creators have never publicly confirmed whether it was staged. Number 5. The Altered Gloves. Undefeated boxer Billy Collins Jr. fought Lou Resto at Madison Square Garden on June 16, 1983. After 10 brutal rounds, Resto was declared the winner. Collins had absorbed over 400 punches, and his eyes were severely swollen. After the fight, cameras captured Collins's father examining Resto's gloves and realizing something was wrong. An investigation confirmed that padding had been removed. Even more disturbing, Resto's trainer, Panama Lewis, had hardened the hand wraps with plaster, forming a rock-like layer that made the punches far more damaging while protecting Resto's hands. Collins suffered a detached retina and permanent vision damage, ending his career at just 21. Struggling with depression after losing the sport he had dedicated his life to, he died less than a year later in a car crash near his home in Tennessee, which investigators later ruled intentional. Resto and Lewis were convicted and served 6 years in prison for the assault. Number 6. The Parking Lot Confrontation. A YouTuber known as Boog731 uploaded a video titled My Stalker in 2010. The footage shows him confronting a man in a parking lot who had allegedly been following him and attempting to force unwanted interaction. The man repeatedly tries to justify his behavior, while Boog731 explains that he feels uncomfortable and threatened.
with that in mind, why don't you give me a chance? I can.
Because I'm not giving you a chance because you're Filipino.
No. Why don't you give me a chance? Not being a...
You being a Filipino doesn't have anything to do with it. You being gay doesn't have anything to do with it. I don't care. I just don't like your presence. You make me uncomfortable. A Filipino friend doesn't make me uncomfortable. My gay friend doesn't make me uncomfortable.
Well, tell me, what makes them not make you uncomfortable?
The fact that we started having conversations and that we liked each other and that we were friends. We started having conversations, you and I didn't really get the vibe. I didn't really feel like we could be friends.
The confrontation ends without physical violence, but the recorded exchange went viral due to its disturbing tone. Number 7. The Reddit post that was real. In June 2025, a man posted on Reddit claiming he had been on the phone with his girlfriend in Torun, Poland, when she suddenly began screaming and the call disconnected. He asked anyone local to contact authorities. Hours later, news reports confirmed that 24-year-old Klaudia Karowska had been attacked in a park. She later died from her injuries. Users later realized the Reddit post had been written during the attack itself. Number 8. The Armed Roadblock. In early 2026, 2 tourists driving through a rural area of Mexico captured a tense encounter on camera. As they traveled down a narrow road, several armed men wearing dark clothing stepped into their path, blocking the vehicle.
Please, what? Please, what? No, Espanol, please. We're just... Please.
¿Dónde vas?
Please.
No problem, okay?
I'm about to pass out.
No problem.
Logan, don't. It's okay, it's okay.
No problem, okay?
The men carried rifles, and the tourists, filming from inside the car, whispered in panic, unsure whether they had just encountered cartel members. With no way to turn around, they slowed to a stop, watching every movement. After several nerve-wracking moments, the armed men gestured for the car to continue. The tourists carefully drove past and left the area shaken. Authorities did not officially confirm the identities of the men, but the video went viral, with many viewers believing the group was connected to organized crime. The footage remains a reminder of how quickly a routine trip can turn into a dangerous situation. Number 9. The Cemetery Broadcast. The Mexican television show Incognito filmed a late-night segment inside a cemetery in 2005. During the broadcast, the host challenged any spirits to appear. Moments later, the camera captured what appeared to be a pale girl standing near a gravestone. Her head slowly turned toward the host before the segment abruptly ended. The footage has never been officially explained, and viewers continue to debate whether it was staged. Number 10. The Suitcase in the Dumpster. In August 2009, VH1's reality show Megan Wants a Millionaire had aired only 3 episodes when it was abruptly pulled from television. A suitcase was discovered in a dumpster in Buena Park, California. Inside was the body of 28-year-old Jasmine Fiore. Her body had been mutilated, making identification difficult. Investigators ultimately confirmed her identity using the serial numbers on her breast implants. Attention quickly turned to Ryan Jenkins, a contestant on the show. Jenkins had met Fiore after filming ended, and the two married in Las Vegas just days later. Their relationship was reportedly unstable, marked by frequent arguments. Surveillance footage captured the couple together the night before Fiore was last seen alive. Shortly after, Jenkins fled to Canada. Days later, he was found dead in a hotel room before he could stand trial. VH1 immediately canceled the show. It never aired again. Number 11. The Subway Attack. On the morning of March 20th, 1995, commuters across Tokyo began reporting chaos inside the city's subway system. Passengers were seen stumbling out of train cars, collapsing on platforms, and struggling to breathe. News stations began broadcasting live coverage as emergency crews rushed into underground stations. It was later confirmed that members of the cult Aum Shinrikyo had released liquid sarin nerve gas on multiple subway lines during rush hour. The attack killed 13 people and injured thousands more, many of whom suffered long-term neurological damage. Television cameras captured the aftermath in real time. Victims lying on station floors, first responders carrying people to safety, and entire platforms being evacuated. It remains one of the deadliest domestic terror attacks in Japan's history. Number 12. The Facebook Live Confession. Ray J. Black began live streaming on Facebook on December 11, 2021. During the broadcast, he calmly confessed to shooting his ex-girlfriend, Tara Ling, inside a home in South Baltimore. He blamed years of custody disputes and accused his ex-wife of ruining his life.
You know, we got in a fight, and first thing she does, she's threatening that she's going to do the same thing. You're never going to see your kids, blah, blah, blah. It's the holidays, man. I don't have no family, nothing. Anyway, I just did something crazy, man. I just shot my ex-girlfriend in the head, yo. Felt like a dream. Like, I never thought I would be that guy. I can't go to prison, so the person that really started my depression and all of this is my ex-wife.
Near the end of the stream, he said, "She's next," referring to his ex-wife, Wendy Black. The live stream continued as he drove to Columbia, Maryland, where he shot and killed her as well. Police later confirmed both deaths. The video circulated widely before being removed. Number 13. The basketball court figure. In 2003, a basketball coach in the Philippines recorded his team during a routine practice. Nothing unusual was noticed at the time. Later, while reviewing the footage, he spotted a dark child-sized figure running across the background of the court before disappearing out of frame. The coach said he never saw anyone there that day. Several players later claimed they felt a sudden cold breeze during practice, even though it was summertime. The footage was reportedly analyzed on a local news segment and showed no signs of tampering. Some viewers pointed out that the figure appeared not to cast a visible shadow. Skeptics argue it was likely another child briefly passing through the court and simply unnoticed. The identity of the figure was never confirmed. Number 14. The Lion's Mane Vlogger. In late 2021, a man began uploading vlogs claiming that lion's mane mushroom supplements had severely damaged his health. He said he had taken OM mushrooms daily for about 2 weeks after reading positive reviews about its cognitive benefits. Soon after, he reported intense head pressure, internal vibrations, numbness in his limbs, insomnia, blurred vision, and a feeling of detachment. He compared the sensation in his head to having sheet metal superglued across his forehead.
Just so tight, all here. It's like super. So when you put like a piece of sheet metal or super glue all here, and doing this with my jaw, it's like a living hell.
Over months, he documented visits to multiple neurologists and specialists, undergoing MRIs, blood work, and sleep studies. According to him, no clear medical explanation was found, and some doctors suggested anxiety. He later created an online community where thousands claimed similar symptoms. In his videos, he expressed regret, saying he had planned to marry his girlfriend and start a family before his condition began. His channel became a public record of someone convinced a common supplement had permanently altered his life. Number 15. The Girl Who Never Existed. In 1999, a teenager named Casey Nicole became popular on the website collegeclub.com. She described herself as a basketball player from Kansas and regularly updated followers about her life. In 2000, she announced she had leukemia. For months, users followed her emotional battle with cancer. In May 2001, her mother posted that Casey had died from an aneurysm. Days later, internet users discovered Casey Nicole never existed. The photos had been stolen, and the entire persona was created by a woman named Debbie Swenson. Thousands had mourned someone who wasn't real. Number 16. The Woman in White. In 2016, a Saudi police officer filmed a woman dressed in white standing alone on a dark road at night. As he approached, she moved erratically in the headlights. The officer's voice can be heard trembling as he records. Online, many claimed it was evidence of witchcraft. Others suggested it was a staged video or someone in distress. No official explanation was ever confirmed. Number 17. The Elves of Mexico. A YouTube video titled "Elves Spotted in Mexico" appeared online on December 12, 2010. In the footage, two people are playing soccer when a small figure darts across the background. The group screams and drops to the ground in fear. Many viewers claimed it resembled a duende, a goblin-like figure from Hispanic folklore. A similar video surfaced in 2007 showing another small humanoid shape walking behind children. Neither clip has been definitively explained. Number 18. The ATI Log Cabin Program. In 2014, a Reddit user described growing up inside ATI, a homeschooling program linked to the Institute in Basic Life Principles, founded by Bill Gothard. The group promoted strict hierarchy, obedience, and isolation from outside influence. At 13 years old, the user was sent to the Eagle Springs Training Center in Oklahoma, part of what was called the Log Cabin Program. Their mother reportedly signed over custody before leaving them at the locked compound. According to the account, students were subjected to forced labor, food restrictions, sleep deprivation, solitary confinement, and punishments designed to break their will. The user described being forced into silence for extended periods and made to perform physically exhausting tasks until near collapse. Years later, other former members shared similar testimonies, and public scrutiny increased after abuse allegations surfaced against the organization's founder. The Reddit post became one of the most widely shared first-hand accounts of life inside the program. Number 19. Stabbed on the tennis court. By 1993, 19-year-old Monica Seles was the #1 ranked tennis player in the world and already a multiple Grand Slam champion. On April 30th, she was competing in a quarterfinal match at the Citizen Cup in Hamburg, Germany. During a changeover, as Seles sat on the bench between games, a man rushed from the crowd and stabbed her in the back. She screamed and collapsed as the stadium fell silent. The attacker was quickly restrained. Authorities later revealed he was an obsessed fan of rival player Steffi Graf and believed injuring Seles would help Graf reclaim the top ranking. He was ruled mentally unstable and received a suspended sentence. Seles survived, but was deeply traumatized. She stepped away from tennis for over 2 years, and although she returned in 1995, she never fully regained her previous dominance. Number 20. La Pascualita. Since 1930, a bridal shop in Chihuahua, Mexico, has displayed a mannequin known as La Pascualita. Local legend claims it is the preserved body of the shop owner's daughter, who allegedly died from a spider bite on her wedding day. Visitors often point to the mannequin's realistic hands and visible veins. The shop denies the rumor, but employees reportedly changed the dress behind closed curtains. The legend continues nearly a century later. Number 21. Jimmy Savile on live TV. For decades, Jimmy Savile was one of the most recognizable television personalities in the United Kingdom. He hosted family-friendly BBC programs and was widely celebrated. Clips later resurfaced, showing Savile making inappropriate comments and touching young guests on live television. At the time, these moments were dismissed as eccentric behavior. After his death in 2011, investigations revealed hundreds of victims had accused him of abuse spanning decades. Much of it occurred while he was actively appearing on television. Number 22. Unexplainable sickness. In Tampa Bay, Florida, a family began smelling a strong chemical odor in their apartment. Over weeks, the father, his wife, and their 1-year-old daughter developed headaches, nausea, shortness of breath, and hair loss. Inspections failed to find the source. Suspicious, the father hid a camera in a plant facing their front door. The footage showed their downstairs neighbor, 36-year-old Juming Lee, kneeling by the door and injecting liquid through the crack with a syringe, more than once. Hazmat teams later confirmed the substance contained methadone and hydrocodone. Lee was arrested and charged with aggravated stalking and dispersing a chemical agent. The family left the apartment, shaken by what had been happening just outside their home. Number 23. The missing toddler. In June 2022, 3-year-old Riker Webb went missing near his home in Montana after wandering into the woods. The area was heavily forested and known to be home to grizzly bears, mountain lions, coyotes, and bobcats. Temperatures dropped near freezing overnight, and rain moved through the region. Search crews, volunteers, drones, and helicopters combed the area for nearly 2 days. Riker was eventually found over 2 miles away from his home, sheltering inside a shed on private property. Despite the harsh conditions, he was alive and suffered only minor dehydration and exposure. Months later, a resurfaced video showed Riker describing his time in the woods. He mentioned seeing a house in the woods where someone lived.
About what happened? Riker, do you remember when you got lost?
Mm-hmm.
What do you see?
I see a house.
A house? In the woods?
Yeah. So I can live and then I can live.
Someone lived in the house?
Yeah.
I'm sorry that happened to you, bro. That was scary. You okay, though, now?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah?
The shed where he was found belonged to a local resident, but the child's vague description led to speculation online. Authorities confirmed there was no evidence of abduction. Still, many questioned how a 3-year-old traveled that distance, avoided search teams, and survived 2 nights in dangerous terrain. Number 24. The hidden cameras. In July 2024, a guest at a short-term rental in Madison, Wisconsin, noticed what looked like a tiny camera lens inside an electrical outlet in the bedroom. After checking the home, 2 hidden cameras were found, each superglued behind outlet plates in separate bathrooms and aimed directly at the toilet and shower areas. Police confirmed the devices contained SD cards and were connected to charging ports, raising concerns about how long they had been recording. Former guests, including Shanice Faust, who had stayed there for a bachelorette trip the year before, came forward after recognizing the property. She recalled her group frequently changing clothes and questioned whether they had been unknowingly filmed. Investigators are now reviewing the SD cards to determine what was captured and whether the footage was shared. Number 25. The child in the tree. A mother filming at a cemetery captured her young son suddenly pointing toward a nearby tree. The boy calmly insisted he could see a man hanging in the branches. When asked for details, he described the figure as an old man and said he was moving.
It's so fast.
It's spinning fast, eh? Beautiful, Mom.
Mom?
What, Mama?
I'm sure someone in the tree.
Hmm?
The white thing in the tree.
The white thing in the tree?
Yes, that one.
There's a white thing in the tree?
Yeah.
Where?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I think it's an old man.
There's an old man in the tree?
Yes.
Down over there?
Yes, he's just walking.
Where is he walking?
I don't know.
Is he over there walking, Mum?
No.
But there's a man in the tree.
Yes.
Oh.
I should have seen one.
You saw him in the tree?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
It's not cool, Mom.
Oh, it's not cool?
Yeah.
What did he look like?
I don't know. So strange.
He looked strange?
Mm-hmm.
The mother repeatedly looked toward the tree, but saw nothing. No figure is visible in the footage either. The video spread online, with viewers split between imagination and something unexplained. Number 26. 127 Hours. In April 2003, 27-year-old Aaron Ralston went on a solo hike in Utah's Blue John Canyon. While descending a narrow slot canyon, a massive boulder shifted and pinned his right arm against the rock wall. Alone and with no one aware of his location, Ralston spent 5 days trying to free himself. He rationed his limited food and water, attempted to chip away at the boulder with a multi-tool, and recorded farewell messages on his camera as dehydration and exhaustion set in.
My name's Erwin Ralston. My parents are Donna and Larry Ralston of Englewood, Colorado. Whoever finds this, please make an attempt to get it to them. Be sure of it. I would appreciate it.
With no other option, he amputated his own arm using the dull multi-tool. He then rappelled down the canyon and hiked several miles before encountering a family who alerted authorities. Ralston survived. His story later inspired the film 127 Hours and became one of the most well-known survival cases in modern history. Number 27. The Roadside Barbecue Killer. In the mid-1990s, Joe Roy Matheny was a homeless man living in Baltimore, Maryland. Struggling with drug addiction and anger toward women, he targeted vulnerable sex workers near highways and abandoned buildings. Matheny lured victims with promises of drugs or shelter before killing them and disposing of their bodies in remote areas. After his arrest, he confessed to dismembering victims and storing remains in a freezer inside an abandoned warehouse. He later claimed he mixed human flesh with pork and beef and sold it as barbecue sandwiches from a roadside stand. Investigators could not fully verify that claim, but it became the most infamous detail of the case. In 1996, a woman escaped and alerted police, leading to Matheny's arrest. He was convicted of 2 murders and sentenced to life in prison. He died behind bars in 2017. Number 28. The Underwater Proposal. In September 2019, 40-year-old Stephen Weber Jr. and his girlfriend Kenesha Antoine were staying at the Manta Resort in Tanzania, known for its underwater hotel room surrounded by ocean life. On their 3rd day, Weber swam down outside the glass bedroom window wearing snorkeling gear. Holding a waterproof note, he proposed, writing that he couldn't hold his breath long enough to describe everything he loved about her, before asking her to marry him and revealing a ring. Antoine filmed the moment from inside the room. After the proposal, Weber never resurfaced. Staff and bystanders attempted to rescue him, but he could not be revived. Authorities later confirmed his death as a drowning. Antoine later shared that he never heard her answer. Yes, 1,000,000 times yes. Number 29. The Accelerator Cable Snap. On September 15, 2009, 12-year-old Kyle Wheeler boarded the Accelerator roller coaster at Knott's Berry Farm in California with his father seated beside him. The ride launched from 0 to 82 miles per hour in just over 2 seconds. Seconds after launch, the thick steel cable that powered the ride snapped. The cable whipped back into the station, shattering fiberglass and striking Kyle in the leg. Metal fragments flew across the platform as the train rolled back into the station. Kyle suffered deep lacerations and required multiple surgeries. Investigators later found severe cable fatigue and missed inspection intervals. The family reached a settlement, and the ride eventually reopened with a redesigned launch system. Number 30. Room 209. In September 2003, guests at a hotel in Illinois repeatedly complained about blood-curdling screams coming from room 209, a room that was supposedly empty. Security footage shows a hotel employee approaching the door while staff monitor cameras. A pale drifting shape appears briefly in the hallway before vanishing. Inside, furniture was overturned, the carpet ripped up, and the shower running. But no one was there. The video remains unexplained. Number 31. The Plane Patrol Shadow. Around 3 a.m., a security guard in Mexico City heard loud door slams coming from a passenger plane that was supposed to be empty. He boarded with a flashlight and began recording. At the end of the aisle, a shadowy figure briefly appears behind the seats before disappearing. The guard fled immediately. No official explanation was ever given. Number 32. The Skyride Fall. On August 14, 2021, a 32-year-old man rode Lagoon Amusement Park's Skyride in Utah, a slow cable lift that carries passengers 50 feet above the ground. Midway across the park, witnesses saw him hanging from the chair with one hand gripping the safety bar. Phones began recording as people shouted for him to hold on. Moments later, he fell roughly 50 feet onto the concrete below. He was airlifted to a hospital but later died from his injuries. Authorities found no mechanical malfunction, and the ride had passed inspection that same day. Number 33. The ambulance rearview face. In July 2024, an EMT shared footage from inside an ambulance while returning to base late at night. According to him, everything felt normal until he glanced at the rearview mirror and saw what he described as a human-like face staring back from the patient compartment.
I don't know if you see it, but can y'all see that back door? Like it just flew open. Like, can y'all?
Knowing it was supposed to be empty, he was visibly shaken and began recording while contacting dispatch. As the EMT wanted to shut off the engine, a loud bang echoed from the back. He jumped back out of the car and ran to the back. Moments later, the rear door appeared to swing open on its own. In the footage, a dark shadow-like figure can briefly be seen moving inside before disappearing again. Number 34. The Omegle Door. A TikTok streamer went live on Omegle, chatting with two boys who said they were home alone. During the conversation, the streamer noticed something behind them, a bedroom door slowly opening on its own. When he asked about it, the boys insisted no one else was in the house. One of them checked and found nothing.
Sí. Pero, podrás dar la IP. ¿Tienes nuestra IP? ¿Eres de esos que buscan la IP y esas cosas? ¿Qué haces? ¿Tienes nuestra IP? ¿Eres de esos que buscan la IP y esas cosas? ¿Qué haces? Y mi gato está abajo, es imposible que se mueva nada. Nos estaba tirando esto. Literalmente es el típico... Se ha quedado pillado. ¿Qué le pasa?
Atrás suyo hay alguien.
¿Cómo que atrás? ¡Me cago en la puta!
Moments later, the door moved again. Then the streamer saw what he described as a dark humanoid figure standing behind them. He warned the boys. They turned around and froze. Seconds later, the live stream abruptly cut off. Number 35. The Shadow in the Warehouse. Security footage from an old warehouse reportedly built in the 1960s shows a dim corner of a room. Around the 22-second mark, a shadow-like figure appears to move across the wall, then seems to turn back and shut a door. The uploader claimed there was nothing in that area capable of casting a shadow. They even attempted to recreate the movement by opening doors and letting wind flow through, with no success. The subtle movement is easy to miss, but once seen, it's difficult to unsee. Number 36. The Wingsuit Bridge Impact. On October 5, 2003, professional base jumper Dwayne Weston performed a proximity flight near the Royal Gorge Bridge in Colorado. During the high-speed pass, he misjudged the distance between himself and the bridge. Combined with unstable wind conditions, the error proved fatal. He struck the bridge structure and fell roughly 90 meters into the canyon below. Weston was 30 years old. The footage remains one of the most well-known and sobering wingsuit accidents ever recorded. Number 37. The Twitch Reflection. In 2021, a Twitch streamer from Argentina was live on Omegle when viewers noticed something she didn't: a dark figure reflected in the mirror behind her bed. At first glance, nothing seemed unusual, but when zoomed in, a shadowy shape appeared standing upright on the bed in the reflection, moving slowly. On the actual bed, a black bag or piece of clothing lay flat, clearly not matching the upright shape seen in the mirror. The streamer only realized what appeared behind her after re-watching the footage. She later said she had no idea what it could have been, from unexplained shadows to crimes broadcast live. If you want more unsettling facts and real footage cases, there's always another video waiting.